What is up, gamers? This is Proto, and welcome to another episode of Like or Dislike, where we look at some of the latest games that come out. I give you a synopsis of the game, tell you my thoughts after putting some time into it, and doing the pros and cons at the end to help you decide if you want to get the game or not. And today, we are looking at Shadow Warrior 3. Now, I have to give a big disclaimer. I am a big fan of this series, but I'm still going to give it a biased review. But if you are a fan of this series, you will like this game. You will be happy with this one. So let's get into it. Now, Shadow Warrior 3 is a first-person shooter game mixed with some platforming and quick-time moments. Now, this one continues the story of what happened from the last Shadow Warrior. And if you didn't play the previous one, they do a quick recap, so you'll be good and you're caught up. And I love the way they did the recap of it. It was hilarious. Now, in this game, you have to stop a magical dragon from destroying the world, and your old boss comes up with a plan of using your dead friend's mask to create a bomb, but you stop it when you realize he's still alive. From there, you go on this crazy adventure to save your friend and defeat the dragon. Now, if you're a fan of the series, I'm happy to tell you all the bad jokes, the bunnies, yes, the bunnies, and the craziness are also here with some even more insane combat. Now, if anybody asking, what are you talking about bunnies, Proto? I'm going to tell you this. If you see bunnies while you're playing the game, shoot them. Go ahead and shoot them. You're going to be in for a nice little surprise. If you played it before, you know what that means. And it made me happy to see them back in the game. Now, the combat is similar to Doom, with it being fast-paced in an arena-style areas. You can pull off execution moves that give you access to an enemy weapon for a short time with funny and devastating effects. And what's pretty cool, these weapons are what they call gore weapons. And you're basically using a part of the enemy as a weapon. It is so funny. Some give you buffs, some give you like godlike powers, and it's just insane and fun. I honestly never got tired of doing them. Sometimes I would do them just to do them. So I definitely liked it. It gave it a nice little touch and made it stand out from the other Shadow Warrior games. Now, you will have several weapons and abilities that you can use that can be upgraded for more devastating power as well. You can complete challenges to get more upgrades, and you can find some of the upgrades in the world. Now, the challenges are really not that hard. You can complete most of them while just playing in the game. You can just go back over to the challenge tab, take a look and say, okay, I just got this many left to do. And honestly, we're not that hard. Some will pertain to certain weapons, so all you gotta do is just use that certain weapon for a mission and you're good to go. Now, another thing that makes this game stand out different is you have a grappling hook to get around, which works well both in and out of combat. Now, you'll be using this grappling hook to solve puzzles, to do quick time moments, and for fighting bosses. And with the boss fights, they are insane. With some having multiple stages to fight them, as well as, like I said, quick time moments using your grappling hook or using a certain weapon to take them down. They was all fun, challenging, a little bit annoying, but overall fun. Now, the enemies have some good variety to them. Some of them being ranged, some of them being up close, some of them trying to just destroy you completely, some being melee, and there's a good variety of them. Now, probably about halfway, well, I ain't gonna say halfway through the game, because you will start running into new types throughout the entire game all the way to the end. But it gets interesting when you start fighting a variety of them in the same area, because they use their abilities to try to come after you. Now, graphics wise, the game looks amazing, and I played the PC version and it looks great on max settings. All this gameplay you guys are seeing is from PC. Now, I did see a few glitches and enemies stuck in the environment, but it was nothing game breaking. Nothing that's like, oh, this game is unplayable. A lot of them were like, honestly, funny to see. I kind of hope they kind of keep the glitches that I found. And that is roughly that on the game itself. It didn't take me that long to complete the game, honestly. It took me about 7 hours to complete the game, so that's just average for me. It may take somebody a little bit longer, somebody less, but it was a good time to go through for a first-person shooter. And that's just my thoughts on it. So with that being said, let's look into the pros versus the cons. And starting off with the pros, the first we're going to look at is the combat. The combat I thought was great. No matter if you're fighting the same enemies over and over, different areas, it gets interesting because you have area effect weapons that you can activate. They're different in every area that you can use to cause damage and carnage. It's so much fun. Along with just the insane combat of it. You don't know how many coming after you. You could run wall, all this stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool. So the next pro we're gonna look at is the weapons. I love the variety of weapons they give you and the gore weapons because each one's work hand in hand. And I thought it was nice. I thought it was nice saving up my abilities to do it, deciding which ones I want to go after. Because I had some I prefer using all the time, and then I had some I used depending on what I was fighting against. So I thought that was a nice little touch. And then the last pro we're going to look at is the comedy of this one. I love how they still keep it as funny and as corny and as cheesy as the previous ones. They never try to go over the top, but they always they love breaking the fourth wall in this. And if you play the previous games, you know where I'm coming from on that. So that's the pros. So with the pros done, let's take a look at the cons. So the first con we're going to look at is the quick time moments. The quick time moments can be a little bit annoying because some you have to do them precisely when you see it, and if you miss it, it's over. And with that happening, sometimes you've got to replay it all over again from the beginning. So they can get very annoying. Sometimes you just gotta be paying attention and make sure you don't miss your moments. But if you do, sometimes you gotta redo the thing all over again. Now the next con we're gonna look at is the boss fights. The boss fights can be annoying because you have to basically, if you get knocked off, if they stop you, you got to do it all over again. And some of the boss fights can be 2 to 3 or even 4 stages. So if you get knocked off, you got to start all the way from the beginning again. So I can see that being a little bit annoying to people, especially when you're that close to beating them and they knock you down, and then you got to start all the way from the beginning. And the last con, and I took some time to think about this, and I honestly couldn't think of another con about this game. So you tell me something about the game that you didn't like, and I want to read them in the comments below. But that's just the pros and cons. Overall, I'm definitely gotta give the game a like. I've loved every minute of it. Like I said, it took me about 7 hours to complete the game, but I felt like I was playing it for much longer than that. Just the craziness of what's going on. I definitely will be playing this game again. I cannot stream this game because if you play Shadow Warrior games, you know the dialogue and the things that go on. So I can't even stream this game, but I will be playing this game again just on the regular. But let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. If you got it, if you're thinking about getting it, if you don't know, let me know. And as always, hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I talk about stuff going on in the gaming and tech world. I do reviews on some of these games to check this out. I do top 10 new games coming out every month and so much more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and my other social media pages so you can keep up to date what's going on if you want to reach out to me. I love talking about gaming, so don't be afraid to hit me up. You can catch me streaming on Twitch, playing indie, PC, console, and VR games. So if you want to see some of these games being played in real time, or you can't play this one in real time, you can catch me over there and we can just chat it up while I'm gaming. But this is Proto, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.